some might hear some not on their channel.
Right. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Market Trading. I'm your host, Vays, coming to you live from the scene of Unconfiscatable. Starting tomorrow, I might do a stream over in the conference area because we're going to start setting up the room. How's the audio, guys? I don't think the audio is going to be that great. I'm still using the microphone for the camera. If it's really bad, maybe I'll plug these things in. I need one more gadget here. And I just heard it for a second. I'm like, yeah, no, that kind of stuff. Okay, there it is. All right, I think it's doable. Because I have to use like an extra because my audio jack just stopped working. So now I gotta go through the USB port.
It's on the same volume, dude.
Volume's good.
About the audio quality.
All right, let me. I won't hook up the audio.
See if oh shit! I think I'm blurred out the background.
What do you mean? Oh shit! That's weird. Because I see it here.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's
on your phone, you don't see it. Wow, that's weird. But look, I see it in here.
Yeah, what the heck?
That's weird.
No, that's wild.
Joe's just gone. All right, let me. That's because of visual background. None. There you go. All right, that should work. All right, we got mics. There you go. All right. Audio. Let me switch to audio. Microphone USB. All right. Is audio better? It should be a lot better.
Test.
We'll see what people say. Yeah, Joe just arrived for the Unconfiscatable conference. Oh, well, I see Motorist is on.
Yeah.
Volume's good. Andrew said that. Volume should be a lot better now. Not volume, but the quality should be a lot better now.
I'll say something real quick. You know, you guys, it's not just showing up when the bull market starts. My last channel got the old boot. My new stuff, if you don't mind me just saying this real quick.
Go ahead.
You guys can go to sazanalytica.com. You can find access to all my channels. And
I'm gonna open that up. Hold on. Is your Twitter still up, or you got banned from there?
Also? No, Twitter. I only get suspended periodically.
All right. So here's Joe says, is this your new website?
That's the YouTube.
That's the YouTube, all right.
And then the website is just sazanalytica.com.
You have your website here or no?
You know, my partner's the one that set a lot of that up.
You gotta put like links over here.
I know, right?
All right, so that's Joe's new channel, and then Saz Analytica.
Yeah.
.com.
This is the new way.
Why the old channel banned? Joe went very political.
Kind
of like me, only a little less filtered.
Yeah. Went a little wild. But yeah, we got our Discord channel in there. You can tune in. We've got a nice community. It's all been great. We've been doing trading competitions week after week. We just finished our third competition. It's been a great group of people. So we're really, you know, teaming up as a group and just pushing each other in the right direction. In fact, Motorist was a winner of a competition. I think he won like third or fourth place on one of them.
Yeah. Hey, Motorist, shout out, man. I'm loving the graphics you're doing for the Scammy Awards. I'm gonna send off the tweets today about the Scammy Awards. Those that are playing poker tomorrow night. I actually updated the website. Just want to get the times in there, the location in there. So anyone's going to the website, poker tomorrow night. You know where it's at. Registration. Oh, I need to change it to 5:30. Registration 5:30. Tournament start at 6. Okay, we're still like the venue is like, no, we're not gonna be ready at 5. Want people there early so we can start playing. There's the poker info. Still have room. You have to sign up today, though. I don't know if I'm going to take registrations the day of. It's just too hectic. But, yeah, you can still sign up. I'm going to edit the website right after the stream, make it 5:30. Show up at 5:30, and we're going to be playing. All right, let's talk about the price. So, as I expected, we flew right through the 50% Fibonacci line. Of all the Fibonacci lines, the one that is least important to me is the 50% on the way up. Like on the way back down as a back test, I'm okay with the 50% Fibonacci line being useful as potential support. But even if the 50% Fibonacci line becomes support, you still have this giant gap between 42,000 all the way down to the $30,000 area where, you know, we broke out from. Not to mention the moving averages, right? They're currently sitting there. Now, a few months from now, the moving average is going to be higher. So either way, real support sits way lower than the 50% Fibonacci line. But this run up over the last 4 days has been absolutely nuts. I'm looking forward to us hitting the 62% Fibonacci line and then significantly pulling back. I think we're going to hit it along with the MRI top and along with the SEC announcement. Am I not on screen share? Oh, shit. I thought I was on screen share. My bad. Wow. Thought I did go to screen share. Shit. Good catch. All right. Wow. I wasn't on screen share the whole time when we were talking about SAS. All right. Hey, guys. This is Joe's Twitter, at Joe_SAS. And this is his new website, sasanalytica.com. And he has a new YouTube channel, SAS Analytica. So you can check that out. My bad. Put it on screen share. So there's the new YouTube channel. Last one got banned. And here's the new website. And that's Joe's Twitter. He came out for Unconfiscatable. All right, we're going to get to those charts. So this was the weekly chart. So like I said, the 50% Fibonacci line, I never expected it to be real resistance. The only reason why I thought it might have been resistance is because we've been going up too far too fast. And somewhere we're going to have to hit resistance. I really thought it would have been more likely to take place at the 38% Fibonacci line, somewhere around that $35,000 area. We blew right through that. And the only reason I was giving 50% Fibonacci line a shot is we're going up too far too fast, and it might have coincided with the daily MRI top, but the daily MRI top comes in tomorrow. So this is another reason why I am looking for a top in the price of Bitcoin in the next 24 hours. But I don't think this will be the top before the halving. I think before the halving, we go higher. But on a 1 to 4 daily correction, I think the top's coming. It might already be in place, probably not. But somewhere over the next 24 hours, when we get that MRI top candle tomorrow, well, technically we get this candle in about 5 hours. So in about 4 hours and 30 minutes, we're going to get the MRI top candle. So there's no way to avoid an MRI top unless Bitcoin literally falls below $39,000 in the next 4 hours. That's not happening. So we're going to get the MRI top. If you're a short-term trader, I would consider taking my profit somewhere in the mid $40,000 range and looking for a little bit of a pullback. Not a serious one. I think the serious pullback. Joe's signals are also signaling a bit of a top. That's on a 15-minute chart, though. Can we do a higher time frame?
Yeah.
Let's say even 1 hour. Right. So your 1 hour is calling for a top the first time this month, actually. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what was really interesting
Right?
about this run. You notice the signals tailing the run?
No, I'm looking at Joe's phone here, but now I want to go to a slightly higher time frame. Let's try 4 hours, and then we're going to try the daily. So the 4 hour also is showing you overbought for the first time since November 24th. And that wasn't that major, and we did pull back from that area.
Mm-hmm.
And on a daily scale,
notice the support that was chasing the run up, though. You see the signals below the candles
Yeah.
as we went higher. So
yeah, that's great.
One thing this is definitely entering an emotional space, I think.
Right. And on a daily scale, you are also hitting a daily top the first time since back in very early November. and it pulled back then as well. So yeah, so Joe's indicators are also calling for a top starting yesterday and today, and I think we're going to top in the next 24 hours. How bad of a pullback would it be? Like, I would be surprised if the pullback goes below 40. I think this pullback will stay in the 40s, and then we get one more push. I think we get that push into 48,000 into early January, along with the SEC's announcement about the ETF. I think no matter how you slice it, if Bitcoin is sitting in at 48,000 early January, it becomes a sell the news event, whether the ETF is approved or isn't approved. The only difference is how bad the correction. If the ETF is approved, probably a correction, just a few thousand. If the ETF's not approved, I can see us going down 10G from 48 down to 38. What are your views?
Yeah, I definitely think we have a pullback coming nonetheless. I'm just right now I'm focused on, all right, so what one of your people said, I kind of agree with that. We're at a point where I think a lot of the technicals are going out of the window and emotion is starting to take over. I think that's going to take us a bit higher. We both agree. We're looking at a span between 48 and 53K. And then I think once we get there, whatever the fundamentals are doing, I think that'll dictate the outcome of the market. But there's a very important little caveat here. I think it's very possible that this is the first time that we may see an all-time high pre-halving. So that's something that I definitely want to throw out there. As much as we have going on, next year really starts to get bullish, being that we're 5 months from the halving. We have a lot of reasons to believe that our economy will stabilize if things head in a certain direction politically and economically, right? And I think we kind of don't want to go too deep into that, but there's a couple big kickers there. So I'm thinking, all right, there's definitely the move to 50K range, pull back, examine what that looks like. We do have a lot of CME gaps. Probably the most significant one is at 20K. I don't think we go that low, so 25 to 35. But yeah, in any event, I think everything is looking real good for us to move into a halving with a very, very decent price. And from there, we have, I think, a really beautiful bull run 6 months out.
All right, thanks for the comments, Joe. I actually think technicals are looking amazing, right? Because for me personally, we are working on a second consecutive MRI top, which is going to top exactly when the SEC is supposed to make the next ETF announcement. Also, it sits in a very good area with the Fibonacci line, and the daily has been on a beautiful MRI run that ends tomorrow. Technically, the candle will begin in 4 hours. So I think TA is working really good right now. I don't think you throw TA out the window at all. It's just that there's very limited TA you can do when the price of an asset enters. When the price of an asset enters just this open area gap. This is the problem that assets tend to have when they got a huge sell wall right now.
Yeah, 45 flat.
45. Yeah, but that's a very round number.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
And 40,000.
Oh, Brian K, what's up? Sorry.
Yeah, 40,000 has just been broken like in the last 24 hours. So you're not going to have the big buy wall there.
Look at the support.
The 41 just showed up. Yeah,
2,000 buy wall.
I still think we're going to top in the next 24 hours. Usually when price enters kind of no man's land, people tend to throw TA out the window, but it depends on what TA you're using. For me personally, once we go to a new all-time high, TA becomes very tricky. There's very few things you can use. You can use Fibonacci extensions, and you can use the MRI. I mean, there's not much else you can do. Some people think you can use Elliott wave, but I just don't understand how. But that's because I'm not an Elliott wave trader. So there's very limited TA you can do after we break all-time highs. But right now, I think TA is great. On the allocation side of things, this is the best 4-day candle we've had. We're already up over 4,000. There was a candle right here. We're up 4,300. This candle was up a little bit more than that earlier. By percentage, this candle will not be beat. That's a 15% 4-day candle. We had a couple of other ones. We had a 19% 4-day candle. From a nominal perspective, though, that $4,500 candle is, I absolutely insane recently. And it's looking good, 100% bullish allocation, better late than ever, but it's there. And this chart has no reason to take profit. The long-term moving average is going to start rising quickly. Still plenty of room before moving averages cross over. But if we are going to run up all the way into 48,000 by the second week of January, you know, which is normal, right? Because guys, I am expecting a bit of a pullback here off the daily, and then we're gonna have a new daily run up going. I think we can time it really well. If we top tomorrow or the day after, pull back for like 4 full candles, and then slowly start rising again, we can have a daily MRI top inside the weekly MRI top early January. That would be really sweet. This resembles exactly the 2017 parabolic run, up with no major pullbacks. It not really.
Is he talking from the April 2nd 3K to 19K run? Because I think there are some similarities there, and 50K is about the equivalent of our difference between 20 and 14K where we peaked out right there. I think that's what he's calling it.
Well, he's at 2017 bull run, so that's down here.
Well, that was I guess maybe he's talking about the wrong thing, or I'm talking about the wrong thing. But yeah, I'm thinking that move to 14K after 20.
I'm thinking more this. I'm thinking this is more like the move in May of 2016 that ran us up right before the halving, and then we pulled back into the halving and then crashed after the halving.
Mm-hmm.
And we came out of this, you know, beautiful triangle. Ascending triangle, trying to get to the prior all-time high, and we failed the prior all-time high. If I use absolute, you know, top prices, we failed it by about 40%. We failed the all-time high by about 40%, and then we pulled back like 50% off of that. So let me see. We failed by 40, well, 35-ish, and then we fell 40. So let's say we fail by 40 and then pull back 40. So on this run up, right? Well, we're using the Fibonacci's, right? So there it is. That's the 40. That's exactly it, the 38. So if I throw Fibonacci on there, interesting. Look at that. Let me go back. I mean, I see it. I can do the math in my head. Should probably use the monthly scale. So if I put Fibonacci's on this, I'm going to drop this line because it's just in the way. I can leave that channel, I guess. If I grab the Fibonacci's, and I go here to the low, you can see how on the way up, we broke the 50 period as well, just like we're doing right now. And we almost got to that 68% Fibonacci. Okay. I think the real lows were actually lower. No, that's about right. It was just lower over here because these are averages of the lows. Now, if I don't use the absolute highs and I use the closing prices, which is another option, by the way, it could alter things. Right. See, this one actually broke that 68% by a little bit. So it depends how you want to do it. Either way, the price rallied right through the 50%. It got rejected 40% below the all-time high, right around the 62% Fibonacci. Exactly like what's happening right now. And then we pulled back down to the 38% in line with the halving. So this is very similar to what's going on right now. We're pre-halving, we're rallying, and what would be the price down from the all-time high? The price down from the all-time high at that Fibonacci line would be 30%. Right now, we're in that 35% zone. This is where we got rejected back in 2016, right before the halving. That was the high before the halving. Okay, so I would consider this time period closer to 2016 run up than the 2017 version. All right, my moderators, any good questions?
Yeah, we'll say it's nice to see a few of you guys, Brian and Mo and everyone. Always thanks for the support. Thanks for tuning in. Fantastic to see you all. Wish I could see you all at a Unconfiscatable. Of course, Tone does too. This is going to be a great event. This is why I came early. Freaking always come early to these events. So, yeah, you guys fucking get in your car and start driving. Get here tomorrow.
Yeah, guys, still got room at the event for poker. Still have a few seats left. If anybody wants to register today and get over here, it's gonna be an absolutely amazing game. Playing that tomorrow night, and then the conference the day after. All right, let's see where we're going next. Short-term chart. Oh, this is why I wanted to do the video on this exact hour. We are literally on the 1 hour MRI top. This is another reason why I think it's possible for us to pull back today. The top already potentially has been made an hour ago. Either way, I think Bitcoin's going to have a short-term top over the next 24 hours. There's a daily MRI starting in 4 hours. And right now we're on a 1 hour MRI top. The 4 hour still has plenty of upside though. So we'll see. But the 4 hour could top along with the daily. So if there is one more top left, the 4 hour MRI top comes in at the end of day tomorrow. So that's yeah, because we got 6 candles in a full 24 hours, and we still have one more candle before that daily candle begins. So it will be perfectly timed for the end of day tomorrow for the 4 hour in case we continue going higher. Chart of the total market cap. Yeah, we can take a look at that. GBTC. I really thought GBTC discount would be closer to 5% by now. It's still 9%. It's rising, just not rising as quickly. I still think it's gonna, break through 5%. I think at this point, a lot of people are happy with where GBTC has gone and the discount that's been evaporated. So I think a lot of people are starting to exit GBTC. So as people exit GBTC, they may not wait for that discount to get back to zero. I believe it will get back to zero regardless. But the gains on the GBTC discount will slow down. The more people sell GBTC shares, the slower that discount is going to keep evaporating. Still waiting for energy to reverse. This is our weekly chart. I remain surprised that natural gas is still going down, and so is oil. I think a lot of it's going to make sense. Really interesting political situation down in Venezuela with potential military conflict against Ghana. No, we're saying Ghana, Guyana, over there with the border, and a lot of it has to do with oil reserves. Gold, Peter Schiff, I don't know, probably fell off his chair, and there goes gold. Gold was making a clean new all-time high and completely pulled back. Bitcoin doesn't seem to be pulling back. All the more reasons why Bitcoin is a significantly better asset than gold. S&P 500, let's see how that weekly chart's doing. S&P is pulling back, and it looks like S&P is on a, no, not an MRI warning, just extension A. S&P is pulling back, but it's still, near the top. I really want to see the S&P close the year at a yearly high. I still think that is very likely to happen, and then next year challenge the all-time high. Daily S&P is just consolidating, not much today, but we are getting into the holiday season. Correlation between Bitcoin. Well, since they've both been rising since October. S&P bottomed on October 27th. Bitcoin started to rise on October 23rd, significantly, and never looked back. MSTR having a good day, of course. And somebody wanted me to look at a stock, TEF. It's not very liquid. Maybe this isn't the primary exchange. No, it's the, well, not sure. This looks more liquid. Always go where the liquidity is. Yeah, it's about to top. You have a second consecutive MRI top tomorrow, and it's stuck at the MRI resistance line. And the stock has not gone anywhere, right? It continues to make lower highs. Has a nice run up, but has a long way to go. I would not be rushing into this trade. There's not much to say about MicroStrategies. It's just correlated to Bitcoin. It's basically a Bitcoin play. It's on a weekly MRI top next week. Unlike Bitcoin, that's interesting. Look at the last time it hit an MRI top, it pulled back quite a bit. It's on a monthly MRI top right now as well. Last month was a monthly MRI top. You can see the last time it had a monthly MRI top. That was in March of 21. That was the peak in the market. That was the highest open for the month it ever had, and the highest close for the month before, and the highest price the month before that. So we are already up this month, but this month can close in the red. So keep that in mind as well. I'm sure Bitfarms is doing really well. Bitfarms will be at the event. Bitfarms will be represented here at Unconfiscatable.
Nice, Gary Garrettson. Going to see you here soon, brother.
Yep, Gary's going to be here. Oh, yeah, the other Gary's going to be here also. Gary Leland will be here as well. Hey, Gary Garrettson. I'll see you tomorrow or tonight. Then you come in today. Or early in the morning. Bitfarms is doing great. Back to $2. Looks awesome. That's the highest it's been in 2 years. Yep. Bitfarms had a huge rally last week. Bitfarms was down to $1, and bam, now it's $2. Bitfarms just doubled in a few days. Yep. So Bitfarms, since Thanksgiving, Bitfarms hits a low of $1.01, and today breaks $2. So Bitfarms has gone up 100% in price in 7 days of trading. 8 days of trading.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try to pop over and see Mel before she starts moving around.
Okay, cool. Hey, you remember Ozzy? I don't know, Ozzy the shitcoin slayer back in the day?
Maybe.
Hey, Ozzy.
Yo, I'll just jump in with my little sign off if you don't mind.
Should fly out to Vegas.
Hey, thanks so much, everyone, for the support. Thanks for tuning in. You guys on you guys support Tone shit. It's a fucking amazing time. Get out here if you can, even if it's last second. I know for a lot of you it is, but it's worth it. You can check out my new channels at sazanalytica.com, YouTube, Discord. Everything's going well. So I miss a lot of you guys, and thank you so much for seeing you here. It's great to see you all. Tone, I'm just gonna run next door and catch
All right,
you.
go for it. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up the stream, and then I gotta tweet out these scammy nominations. Just muted my mic. I'm gonna turn off this mic, save the batteries. 3-day MicroStrategy. I don't see why that 3-day chart's gonna be that important. Look at the DAX. Guys, I have time to look at all the markets today. Now, this is surprising. I don't understand why DAX would be up like that. I really would have thought Germany would be in serious trouble this winter. But DAX is at a new all-time high. I mean, the only explanation I have for this is it's the same logic that I use for the S&P 500. I see a total destruction of the United States, but I see its stock market rising. I mean, Europe, to me, is a complete disaster. Like, I think Europe is done. I think Europe is completely irrelevant on the global stage. I think Europe will, I think Europe is done. But yet, the German stock market is rising like crazy. Because I think people are just buying into the stock market because they don't know what else to do with the money before the Marxists come and take it all from them. But if it's in the stock market, it's a lot harder to take it away from them because these German companies will just move. So other than the same logic I use to explain why the stock market would go to a new all-time high as America's collapsing as a society, it's the same logic here with the DAX, where I think Germany is collapsing as a society, but yet its stock market is through the roof. And that's what will make people very, very confused. It's making me confused, and that's my theory. I'm not on screen share? Shit. My bad. Right, here's the DAX. You didn't miss much. I was just talking about the DAX. So it bottoms on an MRI in October, of course, and shoots up like crazy. And the DAX is almost like at a new multi-year high. I wonder if it's at an all-time high. Sure, in 2007, it was higher. No, it wasn't. Wow. So the DAX is literally at a new all-time high. And I think Germany is collapsing as a society, as a functional society. I think it's collapsing. I think its energy sector is collapsing. I think that people are nuts at this point. They have a Marxist agenda. They want to go to war with Russia. At least the government does. It worked out so great for them the first time and the second time, so that they want to try a third time. Let's see how it works out for you the third time. And yet the stock market is at a new all-time high. Yeah, they're probably printing like, well, it's harder to print euros, but they still do it. Yeah, European culture is dissolved. It pretty much no longer exists. I mean, this is again, it's this Marxist communist view that culture doesn't matter. I mean, the whole European Union project was to eliminate your culture. It's no different than the Bolsheviks of the Soviet Union in the 1920s. I mean, the whole concept was to eliminate the culture of Georgia and Kazakhstan and all these other places and replace it with, you know, the common non-religious Marxist ideology. And Europe has been on a similar path. I mean, the European Union doesn't want Italians and the Irish and Germans and French. They want them all to be of like the Chinese. Basically, it's just like one assimilated. But Chinese have, you know, like kind of remember their history historically. They want to replace the Soviet Union. See, Russia brought back their culture. They brought back their religion, but Europe is the opposite. Europe doesn't want religion. They don't want culture. They want full, you know, assimilation. They don't want to see any difference between the French and the German. Now, the people want to stay French and German, but not the leaders. The leaders want nothing to do with individualism and culture and borders and like countries. They want it all to be like the Soviet Union. Marxist state. That's basically what they've been trying to achieve. So this is why I'm super bearish on Europe. They're going to have trouble coming up with a single language for everyone to use. You know, Russia pulled it off. The Soviet Union forced everyone to speak Russian. Like all those 14, 15 countries that used to be the Soviet Union, they all spoke Russian. Like other languages were almost banned. You know, similar to how Ukraine was like banning Russian, even though everyone in Ukraine speaks Russian. So Europe is trying to do the same thing. They want like, but they can't decide on what that one thing's going to be. Right? Nice. And they just can't decide on what it is because it's harder, right? Like, how do you convince like all the French to speak German or Spanish and all the Germans to speak French? Or like this is why they're failing. They're trying their best to turn the European Union into the Soviet Union, but they can't because people don't want to give up their culture and they don't want to give up their language. And the European Union doesn't have the military muscle to force it. So that's why it's this turning into this monster dysfunctional state. And all they're doing is just bringing in migrants and migrants and migrants to kind of even the playing field so that there is no individual identity. Just a giant disaster. Yeah, no, they're completely clueless when it comes to science and technology. I mean, they shut down their nuclear reactors. They're cutting down trees for heat. It's insanity over there. Like people are like walking up in front of cars to stop them from, you know, people getting from point A to point B because they have jobs. No, it's insane. I don't see how Europe lasts till the end of the decade. The euro. I don't understand how the euro is still functioning. But like I said, I'm saying the same thing about the US. I don't see how the United States is still called the United States at the end of the decade. Like, I really think the West is going to implode. And it's gonna be interesting, right? Because the West is so certain that liberal democracies and elections, you know, is the better model to govern a country, and yet the U.S. is turning into a total clown show. So, but Germany, you know, starting to raise and build an army to try to fight Russia is the most insane thing ever. This is what's happening right now. Like I said, it worked out so great for them the first two times. That they're gonna try it. They're gonna try it a third time. They think there is a climate emergency. Yeah, I know. They're completely insane. So yeah, so I'm a little surprised why the stock market is doing so well, but this is my view on the US markets. America is going to collapse and the stock market is going to be going to new all-time highs because that's where the money is going to go. People are just not going to trust the money at the bank. They're not going to trust the money with in government bonds. They're not going to trust their money anywhere other than at brokerage exchanges in the company. I mean, hey, maybe BMW will get sold to the Chinese, right? And you get to cash out on those shares. Anyway, let's get back to Bitcoin. Yeah, it's super frustrating too. It's like the elites of Europe want nothing to do with what the people actually want. Like the people of the UK wanted Brexit. The elites wanted nothing to do with it. So the people of the UK got the worst of both worlds. They got the worst part of Brexit without the best part of Brexit, because none of the elites actually wanted to go through with Brexit. It kind of describes the European Union. A leftist literally just got elected in Poland. So UTC, you have to understand that the leftist Marxist ideology has taken over the Western educational system for the last 30 years. It's not that these people just don't know anything else. They've been like, since the age of 5, it's been drilled into their heads that the leftist Marxist ideology is the future. It's completely taken over the educational fields. And the younger you are, the more Marxist your instructors are. Like, I bet you there was maybe one kindergarten teacher out of 3,000 that would not vote far left. Maybe one. When you get to high school, I don't know, maybe 20 out of 1,000 high school teachers would not vote far left. And when you get to college, maybe you get, 5% of your professors that would not vote far left. So the problem is that, like, you can't turn the Titanic until the educational system of the West completely is dismantled, and these people aren't allowed to teach young minds. It's not going to change. It will not change. Like, a person has to literally go through all that education, realize that what they were taught was a complete opposite ideology. Then they have to go and start a real business, become a businessman, hire people, and then you realize that every vote you did between what they let you vote at 18 until you actually became an entrepreneur and a businessman or worked for yourself, which doesn't happen very often to young people. But eventually you want to do that. And then you realize that, holy shit, that was all bullshit, right? But that's not easy. You don't have entrepreneurial schools, It's like maybe, 3 in the US? So I don't fault them for being full-blown leftist ideology, because that's what they were brainwashed to think. Bitcoin can change all that. This is why Bitcoin is so important, right? You can now save money in something that rises in money. And then you realize that the government just wants to take away your hard-earned money. Look, people that got rich on Bitcoin, most of them, right? At this point, you didn't get lucky, right? Because I know the phone calls I'm about to get, right, from everyone. It's like, oh shit, Tone, you're so lucky. I'm like, oh yeah, lucky? I'm the one that had to sit through and hold on to this shit at 15,000, right? Like, hey, when some of us sit there, through the crash and don't panic sell and don't get liquidated, right? It's like, oh, we got lucky. No, like all the shit that Bitcoiners have to deal with at the bottom end of the bear market. So it's easy to say that someone got lucky when the prices are a new all-time high. You have no idea the sacrifices that were made at the lows. Ugly is going to be here for Unconfiscatable. All right, guys, I really do think we're topping here. I mean, somewhere in the next 24 hours, starting like 3 hours ago, like, you can look at the 1 hour candle. 1 hour candle hit an MRI top, and we're already pulling back. All right, I need to get back to working on Unconfiscatable. Think the top could be in. We have the MRI top coming in about 3 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, all your no-coiner friends are going to tell you how lucky you are to, you know, hold on to have all that Bitcoin. They have no idea the sacrifices that were made holding through the depths of the bear markets. Or the balls to buy at the depth of the bear market. Buy orders for 23,000. Oh, I don't know about that. Thinking I need some luck. I mean, you have monster moving average support here at 30,000. It's also where the price broke out, 30,000. I just don't see Bitcoin going lower than 30,000. I give Bitcoin a 5% chance it goes below 30K ever again. Like, I think 30K is here to stay. I think you'll be lucky to get it at 35. Yeah, I do think we're going to go to 48 before the halving. It's possible we go higher, but at the moment, my top is 48 sometime in January, and then a longer pullback into the halving. But I can change my mind tomorrow. Yeah, I sold my condo. I don't have a car. Like, this is my hotel room. This is it. That's the whole thing. That's it. That's the hotel room right there. That's literally my hotel room right there. There's the door. That's it. I'm not in a suite. I'm not, you know, I'm not in front of the Bellagio fountain. This is the room, right? All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to get back to work. Hopefully, Bitcoin can create more entrepreneurs and more, you know, independent thinkers and less Marxist ideology. Someone was asking no girls. I keep girls out of the live streams, guys. You know that. Nothing good happens. Otherwise, as those of you that will watch the Scammy Awards will know, as we have BitBoy and his girlfriend nominated for one of the awards. Nothing good happens when you make certain streams. It's funny, Nick. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you all in the next one. Buy the dip if you see one. I haven't had one in a while. What happened to Mary Fox Crypto? I want to bring her back on streams. We're going to launch a trading channel on the Financial Summit stream. And we'll see who I can bring back to the Financial Summit channel from the good old days. Real quick, guys, Unconfiscatable. Come on. Bitcoin is we're crushing it right now with Bitcoin. Come out. It's not too late to book your trip to Vegas. We're going to have an incredible time. We're at the D Hotels where I am right now. Hell, if Bitcoin's over 100,000 next year, we'll move to a nicer hotel. We'll move to the Circa. Same owner, though. Owner is great. Owner's a Bitcoiner. We'll move to his best hotel. Oh, yeah, we got to alter some speaker pictures here. We had some cancellations. We replaced people, but we don't have their pictures. Talk to you all soon, guys. Playing poker tomorrow night.